Hey guys, good evening everybody. Welcome to another edition of the AccessToTrader.com nightly wrap-up show. Hope everybody is doing okay. Hope everybody is having a good day. Pretty good day of trading today. That's not the big story. That's not the big story. First and foremost, let's talk about the macro side. Now, obviously, you can see what's on the board here, but again, look at the macro side. Again, before we can formulate an opinion on anything, we need to know where the market's going. We've been highlighting this delta neutral to upward bias now for quite a bit of time here, especially when we're holding the 50-day moving average. So the fact that the indexes are going higher, that's not really a mystery, right? That's not really a mystery. That's not really a shock. We highlighted last night. On the video. NVIDIA, Tesla, right? I mean, those are the ones we talked about. We're going to, looking to put good moves in, and they put good moves in. And again, they all gapped up, and that was fine. And again, we're professional traders. We're not going to, lay down and die or lay down and cry because the markets are, gapping up and, our price points are not there. We're going to do something about it. Again, we always have a strategy for everything. And if plan A and plan B, plan C don't work, we kind of trickle down to plan D all the way to Z. And that's the point of being a professional trader. All indexes up across the board there. Again, not a big surprise. I thought it was a pretty solid session. I traded Netflix today for like my biggest runner was like $1.70 and change. I traded IQ, which I kind of screwed up. Kind of screwed up. I made some money on the trade, but I kind of screwed up because I thought there was a supply zone in there, and it was, but unfortunately blew right past it. We'll talk about that in a second. And the most ironic part of the day, my last trade of the day was Tesla, right? And it was a pretty good trade. It was a pretty good trade. And, forget about all this. We'll discuss this in a second. Here is the 60-minute channel, right? Here's the 60-minute channel on Tesla. And when it broke down this level here, I shorted it. I shorted some more, and I wound up getting like $1.20, right? Like $1.20 on my runner. And the one thing that was crazy about that trade was, I kept on saying, I do believe that 355 level that we've been talking about for 3-4 days in nausea, I do believe in the next few days that was going to be a very, very important part, and I did believe that Tesla was going to put up at least a $10 move. And, so I went to lunch, right? I went to lunch and everything was good, right? Everything was good. I was having a sandwich. I was very, very pleased with that sandwich. And I do say this much, we joke around this, we joke around the room, and at roughly around lunchtime, I usually go walk my dog. And that has been known as kind of the poodle reversal. And for all you new guys who are watching this for the first time, the poodle reversal is probably the strongest candle of the day. And ironically, it always comes like around noon, like around lunchtime. And it's just like clockwork. And people tell me to always go to lunch at 12. It's like clockwork how the biggest move of the day, ironically, comes at lunchtime. And today I was just sitting there eating lunch, and when my partner texted me, he goes, did you see where Tesla is? And I said, oh my God, it must be down 20. I can't believe I covered it, blah, 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 blah. I should have used a break-even stop. He goes, no. Yada, yada, yada. The stock was at 253, right? The stock was at 253. If you look at the 5-minute chart, right, the stock was at 253, and it was starting to run. And the reason why it started to run, Elon Musk, unless you've been literally under a rock for the rest of the day, Elon Musk tweeted out that he was considering taking the company private, okay, at $420 a share. Again, he could have said at $4,000 a share. It didn't make a difference. Obviously, the world stopped. I mean, the world literally stopped. And I can't tell you how many people were watching the Tesla feed, because as we joke around and say this is the greatest stock ever, you don't realize how much attention this company really gets until you see some just atomic bomb news hits the market. Now, the legality of that tweet is to be determined, right? Is to be determined. But that tweet alone took the stock from 355, right? Actually from 346 to 353. And I tweeted it out, I tweeted out into the private Twitter feed And obviously everybody in the room knew that 355 was a big number. We've been talking about that number for a while. And next thing I know, I just get bombarded. And I see Tesla literally going from 355 to 371, literally on one candle. Safe to say, I was disappointed was an understatement. But like I said before, the longer you trade, right, you start like kind of getting numb to things, and you like kind of shake things off. I couldn't shake this off because number one, I've never in a million years, or at least the 19 years that I'm trading, in a million years could ever fathom a CEO, right, of a publicly traded company basically thinking out loud, okay, basically thinking out loud on Twitter. And he basically said, I'm considering basically maybe taking the company private at $420 a share. Obviously, 30% short interest, the stock explodes. You also had news kind of accompanied that by some really big Saudi Arabia sovereign fund gave him the financing, so he didn't even need to go to Wall Street for any type of financing, and the stock just absolutely exploded. The stock absolutely exploded, and just really crushed shorts. And the most ironic part about this was all out in the open, folks. It started out 2 months ago talking about I got a big surprise for shorts. The day of earnings, talking to David Einhorn, I'm going to send you some shorts for your shorts. Completely destroyed shorts, devoured. I mean, absolutely devoured shorts. And the moral of the story is this is not even official. It looks like it's official, but it's not even official yet. It's kind of a bittersweet situation. As everybody knows, Tesla's been like the greatest stock to trade ever. It's been really, really, I mean, this has been like my thing, but, people have been sending me, it's almost like condolences, which is the most amazing thing. People are sending me these tweets. Oh God, Dan, I'm so sorry. I can't believe it's possibly going private. Look, man, it's not a family member. Okay. It's a stock. The same way, and I said this in the room, the same way back in the day, iOmega was the best stock ever. UUNet was the best stock ever. Spyglass was the best stock ever. Taser, oh my God, there's no way in hell anything's going to be better than Taser. Taser is the best stock ever. Dynamic Materials, oh my God, the best stock ever. The only difference is the best stock ever just was in the last 2 years, again, which was named Tesla. So whether they go private or they don't go private, yeah, it's going to suck because, again, this is kind of my thing, right? This is kind of my thing. But at the end of the day, we're going to be all right, right? We're going to be all right. So nobody should be sad or upset. Yeah, am I upset I missed the $15 candle? Yeah, it's a little nerve-wracking. But at the same time, we had a good day. Okay, we had a good day. We'll talk about the pivots in a second. Very, very good, aggressive day. Great participation in the room. I know a lot of people that did catch Tesla. One person caught it for $19. You know who you are. Great job there. So all in all, guys, as much if this company does decide to finally go private, right, to kind of go private, you know what? There will be another greatest stock ever, and it could be anything. It could be IQ. It could be anything. It could be literally anything that comes across. So before I start, making funeral arrangements, it's just a piece of paper. Okay, it's just a piece of paper. Something else will come up. Something else with a short, huge interest. And the moral of the story is, we gonna be all right, right? So everything's all good. So let's get into the tape, right? Let's get into the tape. Good session, good session. We had a lot of really good pivots today. Let's talk about it. So Netflix was right off the watch list today. Obviously, we couldn't get the price that I wanted. I was looking at Netflix 352. It gapped up today right here. It gapped up today at this 354 level. And I said, there's a shot it goes. There's a shot it goes. I bought it. I bought it at 354, and the stock exploded. I made about $1.70 and change on my runner. And you know what? I was okay with that. Pretty good trade. IQ, I screwed up on IQ. I really like the setup here off this 30 break, and we bought it. We bought it at the 30. and I forgot who said it in the room. Hey, Dan, there's a supply there. And I didn't realize that. I didn't look at the daily chart. Based on this formation, I thought we were way above supply, which we weren't. And, the stock went up a little bit. And I said, you know what, guys, better be safe than sorry. Let's get out of the trade. Again, live to fight another day. There's supply. We don't want to guess that it's going to break. Lo and behold, I took some money on the trade, made a little bit of money in the trade. The balance, I got stopped out break even, which is fine. And then the stock just basically, I wouldn't say exploded, but ran up about 70 cents. But again, guys, the moral of the story is better be safe than sorry, okay? Better be safe than sorry. This is not a game of hoping and wishing and wanting. It's a game of being in control. And when you're in control, right, when you're in control, you can limit your losses, you can gauge your risk, and more important, you get to fight another day. So, I made some money on IQ. Tesla, we talked about. I caught it for about $1.20 on the short side. God's will, right? God's plan. God didn't want me to be long the stock today, so I made some money on the short side. Google was really good. Congratulations for all you guys who caught Google. Big trade. Herb caught it for about $9. I know a lot of you guys caught the trade. Beautiful move. We talked about this pre-market, 1253 level. It ran to 1266. Nice move there. Alibaba, for all you guys who caught it, good job there as well. Here's your first candle right over here, 81.68. It built off of it and it exploded. Went to 83. I know a bunch of you guys caught that as well. Tulo, great call. I think the call was Vic. I think Vic called it. Vic called that 76 break. It was right here. He called that 76 break. The stock went. Beautiful trade. I mean, really, really nice trade there as well. But again, the big story, the big story is definitely, Tesla. Again, we'll see how the Securities Exchange Commission and FINRA and all these regulatory bodies, we'll see what they have to say. We'll definitely see what they have to say. Again, I don't know how legal it was for him to make those comments, but at the end of the day, it's very, very important to kind of follow the rules. And last thing you want to do is not follow the rules. So again, going into tomorrow's session, folks, you have to stay bullish. You have to stay delta neutral bullish because that's what the market's giving you. There is no fundamental reason not to be bullish right now, especially on stocks coming out of ranges. So if you look at the Qs, for example, right? If you look at the Qs, for example, they have a legitimate shot, right? They have a legitimate shot to get to this 82, 89 level. Again, there's a nice rotation in beta, and every single day a new one pops up, and that's how we have to live with it. So let's talk about it. Let's talk about some names that I do like for tomorrow. Square, Square looks good. Square looks good. The daily chart says it could reach the 52-week highs in the 73s. If you look at the 60-minute, all it needs to do is confirm this candle here, right? If it confirms 71.60, this is a legitimate shot. It gets to the 73.50s level. So definitely keep an eye on that. NVIDIA looks great. We liked it last night. We like it again tomorrow. It's the only reason why it stopped. It stopped right at the supply zone right here, the upper Bollinger Band. All it needs to do is reclaim today's highs, 57.70. Let's just call it even 58. This Bollinger should be either lower or much higher tomorrow, depending on the futures. So definitely let's keep an eye on NVIDIA. Again, before everybody starts planning the funeral on Tesla, keep in mind the 52-week high, right? The 52-week high is is right over here. The 52-week high is this 387 level. So we have time. We have time. We still have time to trade this thing. And again, there's no official word that this thing is actually going private. So I'll keep an eye on it for tomorrow. There might be some pivots to the downside that I probably will not be taking, considering this is on the table. But any upward side pivots, sneaky pivots tomorrow, we'll definitely be watching. So I'm keeping an eye on that. MDR, nice little flag pattern here. Again, nothing to do with beta. Keep an eye on this thing, guys. If this thing starts building above this 2065 level, that looks good. And set an alert, guys, on Momo, right? Again, it 3 times, well, actually 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4 times it got rejected here at $42, guys. If this thing can build above 42, you got to move about $43 on the trade. So keep an eye on that. I like Boeing also. I kind of like Boeing as well. especially if the market's strong. Look at the flag here on the 60-minute chart, right? Look at the flag here. I think a break of this 352 level has a shot to 354.5, so we'll keep an eye on that. So, guys, have a great night, everybody. God bless, and we'll see what happens with Tesla. Best stock ever, ever. Guys, God bless. Have a great night, guys.